Welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something really special, a narrative from an ancient Buddhist commentary. It's called, let me get this right, Sambahulabhikkhuvatthu. And our mission really is to see what this old story about faith and, well, amazing transformations can teach us, lessons that aren't just history, but maybe can help us navigate our own crazy busy lives.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic deep dive because it shows how things like diligence, compassion, real focus, they can have these huge ripple effects, unexpected ones.
Yeah.
What's so striking here is how a single moment, just one moment of spiritual purity can totally change the game.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story starts in ancient Avanti, and we meet this lay follower, Soṇa Kuṭikaṇṇa. Apparently he had earrings. The source actually mentions that. Anyway, he hears a Dharma talk from the venerable Mahākaccāna, and he's just blown away. So moved, he wants to become a monk right then and there.
But it wasn't that simple.
No, he gets turned down twice. Because, the life was seen as incredibly hard. 1 meal a day, sleeping alone, lifelong celibacy.
Right, it highlights how rigorous that path was. But Sona's resolve, it was described as exceedingly great. He just wouldn't give up.
Exactly. So third time's the charm, he's finally ordained. But because there weren't many monks there, he actually had to wait 3 years for his higher ordination.
3 years. Imagine that waiting.
So after all this, Soṇa really wants to meet the Buddha, gets permission, gets a message from his teacher, and travels quite a distance to the Jetavana monastery.
And this is where something pretty amazing happens. The Buddha lets Soṇa stay with him in his own private, perfumed chamber.
That's incredible. A brand new monk, basically sharing a room with the Buddha.
Think about that privilege. So Soṇa, being incredibly diligent, spends most of the night meditating outside. He only comes in near dawn. And then the Buddha asks him, Soṇa, to recite some teachings, the Mahākaccāna, 16 sections.
By heart, with this powerful voice.
And he does. And the Buddha is so pleased, he says, sadhu. Well done.
But here's the kicker. That sadhu, that one word.
It wasn't just heard in the room.
No, it apparently echoed, like a unified sound coming from all the deities on the ground, the Nagas, the Supatnas, all the way up to the Brahma world.
It's almost mythical, isn't it? It makes you ask, what does that even mean for a sound to echo through realms like that?
Yeah.
It points to this idea in Buddhism about the energetic power of spiritual achievement, of pure praise. It's like a vibration that resonates everywhere.
Yeah, okay, so that cosmic sadhu,
Yeah.
the story follows that echo.
It does. Because way over in another city, Kuragara city, like 200 miles away.
200 mile.
Right. There's a deity living in the house of Sona's mother. She's also a very dedicated lay follower.
And this deity hears the echo.
Not just hears it, the deity also gives a loud sadhu at the exact same moment.
Okay, so picture this. Sona's mother hears this booming sadhu in her house, asks the deity, who's making that noise?
And the deity explains, that was for your son Soṇa. He just taught the Dharma to the Buddha in the Buddha's own room, and the Buddha was pleased, causing this huge echo.
Now, her reaction is fascinating. She asks for clarification.
Yeah, she says, wait, did my son teach the Buddha, or did the Buddha teach my son? She wants to be sure.
And the deity confirms, no, your son taught the Buddha.
And the text says this wave of profound joy, Petey, just washed over her whole body, not just happy, like spiritually ecstatic.
And right away she decides, okay, when my son comes back, I need to hear him teach.
So Soṇa eventually returns, goes for alms at his mother's house.
She's thrilled, obviously, asks him, is it true? Did you really teach the Buddha? He confirms.
So she sets up this big event, a Dharma talk for her and the whole town, basically.
Yeah.
Huge almsgiving for the monks. Lavish preparations.
But she leaves only one maid behind to guard her incredibly wealthy house while everyone else goes to the talk.
And this house, it's described like a fortress. 7 walls, 7 gate towers, guard dogs, even a ditch filled with molten tin that hardened at night, plus iron spikes.
Vigorously fortified.
900 robbers had been casing the place.
Yeah.
And they managed to dig a tunnel right underneath all those defenses.
Unbelievable. And they even send their chief to the Dharma hall where the mother is listening, with orders to potentially kill her if she leaves early or causes trouble.
This is it, the ultimate test. Right?
Totally. So the maid sees the robbers inside, lighting lamps, opening the gold and silver treasuries. She panics, runs to the mother at the Dharma hall.
Tells her they're robbing the house.
And the mother, what does she do?
She's completely calm.
Each time the maid runs back, frantic, they're in the gold treasury now. The mother just says, let them take it. I'm listening to my son teach the Dharma. Don't interrupt me. Go back.
She even scolds the maid for bothering her. Her focus is just absolute.
The Dharma talk was more important than losing everything.
Infinitely more important in her eyes. That level of conviction, it's astounding.
So the robber chief who's there in the hall listening, he hears all this, hears her tell the maid to let them take the gold.
And it hits him.
Yeah. He thinks we should be struck by lightning for robbing a woman like this.
That's the turning point. Her unwavering faith, her total calm in the face of ruin, it just shattered their whole plan. It completely disarmed them.
So the chief runs back to the house, tells his gang, stop, put everything back.
And they do. They put all the gold and silver back exactly where it was.
It makes you think of that Dhammapada verse, doesn't it? The one quoted here.
Dhamma truly protects one who practices Dhamma.
Dhamma well practiced brings happiness.
Exactly. It's like a live demonstration. Her practice literally protected her and even transformed the threat.
So the robbers, all 900 of them, they put everything back and then go and stand at the edge of the Dharma listening area, quietly.
Their whole intention flipped from aggressors to, well, listeners.
So Soṇa finishes his talk at dawn. The chief robber comes forward, prostrates at the mother's feet, confesses everything, asks for forgiveness.
Which she gives, of course. Then the other 899 do the same.
But it doesn't stop there.
No, this is the next incredible step. Yeah. They ask the mother, can you ask your son to ordain us? We want to become monks.
From robbers planning murder to candidates for monkhood.
It's an incredible transformation, all stemming from her example.
Soṇa agrees. He ordains all 900 of them, gives each one a specific meditation subject suited to them.
And they go off to a mountain, find spots under trees, and dedicate themselves to practice.
Okay, so jump back to Jetavana, 200 miles away. The Buddha is still there, seated.
And through his own deep insight, he perceives these 900 new monks practicing diligently on that mountain.
And he does something extraordinary again. He radiates light, projects his presence, and appears right there before them.
200 miles away. And he delivers a series of verses, teachings perfectly suited for them at that moment.
Timeless teachings, really.
Absolutely. They speak to anyone on the path. Let's look at a few.
Okay.
First, he talks about dwelling in loving kindness, being faithful to the teaching, how that leads to the peaceful state, to nibbana. So compassion and faith are key.
Then there's that boat analogy. Bail out this boat, O monk. Emptied, it will go lightly.
Right. The boat is you, your existence.
Yeah.
The water is all the unhelpful, negative thoughts, desires, grudges.
So you got to bail that water out.
Exactly. Bail it out, get rid of those thoughts, seal the leaks, guard your senses. If you don't, the boat sinks, you stay stuck in suffering. But if you empty it,
it goes lightly towards nibbana by cutting off passion and hatred.
Precisely. Then there's this formula. Cut off 5, abandon 5, cultivate 5 further.
What are all these 5s?
Okay, so cut off 5. That's the lower fetters, the things really tying you down, like self-view, doubt, clinging to rituals, sensual desire, ill will. Think anchors.
Got it.
Abandon 5. These are higher fetters. They might lead to better states, but still keep you bound. Desire for form or formless existence, conceit, restlessness, ignorance, more subtle ties.
And cultivate 5.
Those are the strengths you need. Faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. You actively build those up. Makes you ask yourself, am I cultivating these?
He gives a pretty stark warning, too, about being heedless. Don't let your mind whirl in sensual pleasures. Don't swallow the heated iron ball.
Yeah, that's intense imagery. The commentary links heedlessness to suffering in lower realms, symbolized by that hot iron ball. It's a serious call to pay attention, to be mindful, not get swept away by fleeting desires.
There's a balance, though. He says, no concentration without wisdom. No wisdom without concentration.
Exactly. They need each other. You can't have deep insight without focus, and focus without wisdom doesn't lead to liberation. They develop together.
And solitude helps. Enter an empty house with a peaceful mind.
Right. Finding a quiet space, the empty house, allows the mind to settle. And with that peace, you can see the Dharma, the truth of things, more clearly. And that brings this superhuman delight.
He also talks about reflecting on the rise and fall of the aggregates. Our own components, right? Body, feelings.
Yes. Form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness, seeing how they constantly change, arise, and cease. Understanding that impermanence brings its own kind of joy and leads towards the deathless nibbana.
And it all starts somewhere practical.
It does. He points to the foundation. Guarding the senses, contentment, restraint, based on the monastic code. Basic morality, basically.
And finally, it comes back to community. Associate with good friends. Be hospitable. Be skilled in good behavior.
Yeah, the path isn't solitary, even if you need solitude sometimes. Good company, ethical conduct, generosity, these create joy. And that joy fuels the journey to end suffering. It connects inner work with how you are in the world.
So these 900 former robbers, what happens after they hear these verses directly from the Buddha?
It's the culmination. The text says that as each verse finished, 100 of the monks instantly attained arahantship, full enlightenment.
100 for each verse, so all 900.
All 900 reached the highest goal right then and there, complete with deep analytical knowledge. And then, displaying their newfound spiritual power, all 900 rise into the air and fly the 200 miles back to Jetavana to pay homage to the Buddha at his feet.
An absolutely incredible ending. Flying monks.
A truly miraculous display. It just underscores the sheer power of the teaching received with the right preparation and intention.
So bringing this back to us, listening today, dealing with our own, maybe less dramatic, but still constant floods of information and distraction, what's the takeaway?
I think it powerfully shows that genuine focus, real unwavering commitment, whether it's spiritual practice or just sticking to your core values. It has this almost transformative energy. The mother's commitment wasn't just about her. It changed everything around her. It turned deadly enemies into enlightened beings.
Yeah, it shows that protection through Dhamma, or just, living with deep integrity and conviction. It's not just a nice idea. It can have real, tangible, even astounding effects. It makes you think. Choose your focus. Really choose it. Stick with it. The results might be beyond anything you can imagine.
So maybe the question for you, listening right now, is this. What is your non-negotiable? What in your life, if you held it with that kind of unwavering focus and pure intention, could start a ripple effect, even in places you least expect? What are you willing to prioritize above all else, even when the metaphorical robbers seem to be at the door?